some, see, there's some movement. So you can separate her breathing movements, which are rhythmic and steady, from the baby movements, which are jerky and sporadic. You're so cute. Such a clever girl, growing all those babies. We do have a good idea of how many. I mean, good, when I say good, I don't mean like 100% certainty. Probably like 70%. Well, where are you going? Where are you going? Hmm? Oh, you're very cute. Why don't you come here and then I can pet you? Because it was still pretty hard to see them, and she's a little gassy today, so there were lots of gas bubbles on the x-ray. You can see the I'll see if I can bring it up. Alright, so let's see if everyone can see this. It's probably pretty hard to see it on the screen. Oh, I think it helps if I do this. That helps a little bit, I think. Okay, so these black, you can see air pockets in there, the black spots. That's gassiness. A little gassy, which makes it kind of hard to see. You can identify them with skulls and spines most easily, so this is a pretty good clear skull right here. The trick is, when you find a spine, connecting it to the proper skull. And there are also some kind of areas where you can't really see very well. But like, these are little leg bones down here. Right there. And that's a spine. So, there you have it. X-ray 101. If she lays down, we'll try to do a little bit of more belly vision. Toot, that would be a good name. Amazing that that's a palindrome, and it would be an amazing name. So maybe you should enter that in the contest. Let's see. So you can see, even though you're getting belly vision, the babies are not super active yet. which means there is still time to go. I would say at least a week. But it depends. We'll see how quickly they progress from just a little bit of movement. See, there's a little bit of rippling happening along here. So one thing you can see on x-rays when they're in their last week is hands, like little digits, little fingers and toes, and we did not see any of those. So those develop and mineralize in the last week before they're born, so sometime during the last week. So we are not, we did not see any, so you know, all that means is that we're probably at least a week out. Although they could develop at day 5. You know, it's a very inexact science. But we just have kind of general indicators along the way that we try to make the best possible guess. You can see a little movement now. Just getting some kicks. Scampy kittens. I know Eve has been with me since she would, at this point, well, let's look at the thing. Let's look. So if she still has 7 days to go, what day is today? 18th. Okay. And she was what, 11.96, I think, or 0.96 this morning? I don't remember exactly. My computer's super slow today. So my initial estimate was that she was 22 days pregnant when she was rescued. Which would put her at day 64 today. So this would be, she would be having kittens today. I was obviously overestimating how pregnant she was. She was not visibly pregnant when she showed up, so we're lucky that her finder suspected that she was, and Dr. Ferguson felt something in there. And then when she came in, she had morning sickness for a couple of days, which typically happens during week 3 and between week 3 and week 4. So that's why I had put her on the early end of week 3 at that point. But let's say she was only 2 weeks pregnant when she was rescued. That would put her at day 56. Average gestation is 63, 64 days. Google Docs are being very slow. I think it might be my laptop. I haven't rebooted in a while. Maybe I need to just refresh. No, I'm enjoying all the guessing. I'm trying to get the spreadsheet to work. Google Chrome helper. There's a belly, a close-up of the belly. She is going to be good at the bathing. Oh, she's leaving now. I've bored her again. Oh, Eaglet. Look. Look, what about this? And where did I put her treats? Oh, right there. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, she just picked up the piece. Here. Here you go, look. Here, do you want some here? See, this is probably not helping with her gaseousness. Is it? Hmm? Do you want some of this? Do you want to play? Not as interested in playing. Eve has not met the teens, nor will she. She was nervous with the Sesame Street kittens around, and typically mama cats are not super keen on having other cats around, especially cats they don't know, and the goal is to minimize stress. So she has not met the teens, and it is unlikely that she will, unless at the very, very end when the kittens are older, unless she seems like she wants to. Right, little mama? So, yeah, so she started eating wet food last night, which probably is not helping with the gassiness. I think it's unlikely that this is her first litter because she's around 2. Oh, she comes out running. Good girl. She's around 2 and not being spayed, and it's hard to say what her life was like before she showed up one day under the porch. It's hard to say if she was an outdoor cat, or if she was an indoor cat and her people moved away and left her behind, or if she got dumped, or if she was an indoor-outdoor cat the whole time. It's hard to say that for sure, but being 2 years old and not spayed makes it likely that she has had kittens before. She definitely will not have kittens again. That much is very true. If somebody forced a new mama to be together with stranger tomcats, I would say don't do that. Tomcats are biologically mandated to reproduce and to further their own line, and so there is definitely a risk if they encounter kittens that are not their biological line, they will kill them. So if you know somebody that is doing that, that is not a good thing. What else? Let's see. She's having a little drink right now. Being so cute is thirsty business. Oh, I should post. I have the video from when I released Rollins yesterday. I will post that on People for Have Your Cats. He's pretty cute. He's very handsome, and as Dr. Ferguson's husband said, chicks dig scars, so he's gonna look cool and tough when his hair grows back. We have noticed a dramatic increase in fighting at the feral cat colony. Since all the ladies are currently pregnant or starting to have babies, they are battling it out for territory. And so we had 4 in the last 12 that we trapped on Wednesday. 4 of them had abscesses from infected bite wounds, which is pretty nasty. So in an ideal world, like if I don't know if you remember with the Roundup kittens, Athena, the grandmother of the Roundup kittens and mom of some of them. Oh, look at her go. She had an infected bite wound, and so I had to apply warm compresses several times a day to keep it draining, and obviously give her antibiotics also. We don't have the luxury of being able to do that with our feral cats, so the best we can do is clean it out, drain it, and give them lots of antibiotics. And it is unlikely that any of those were the first time they had an infected bite wound. So I don't think, in most cases, I don't think they have that they're fatal, but potentially painful, and could certainly cause more problems if not treated. So yes, I will tell you eventually what I see on the x-ray. I was going to try to highlight it in Photoshop, but that will take me a while to get to. You know, because I'm slow and behind all the time. I don't know. I don't actually know what percentage of the time an abscess bite wound would be fatal. I suspect they would eventually fight it off, but it depends on their immune system and where it's located and all that stuff, and if they keep getting attacked. Anyway, we did get, so 11 of the 12 cats we trapped last week were male, and I would say probably 7 of them were the dominant aggressive ones that have been fighting. There are quite a few more out there still at large, but about 7 of the culprits have been neutralized. I also don't know how long it takes for the testosterone levels to drop. I would think it would happen pretty quickly, but it may take a couple of days. So it'll be interesting to see how the behavior of the colony as a whole changes once these males are not fighting so much. Let's see. Oh, so we've been putting collars on them. 2 of them so far. The first one, unfortunately, we only got about a day and a half's worth of data before the battery died, but the second one we got about 3 days worth, and his territory covered 26 acres, which is big. He is kind of one of the younger males who was just reaching his kind of sexual dominance, kind of like in the early phases of becoming competition for some of the aggressive males, so they were starting to run him off and attack him. So I'm hoping that again he will stop getting beat up, since we actually targeted some of the males that had been beating up on him, and we got him, except one. There's one that's really stealthy that we did not get, but we got the one that tormented him the most. So I'm hoping that means he will be able to relax a little more. But he's quite the little wanderer. What else? Cats probably do just enjoy watching us play with feathers on a stick. Hi, you're so cute. Don't you wanna lay down and get some snuggles? I actually gave her lots of chin scratchings this morning and at the vet too. So she's not in the mood right now. Now she just wants to explore and eat snacks. Well, there she goes. Yeah. Alright, we'll try one more time to get some belly vision going in here. A little early. So cute. Aren't you so cute? You're so cute. Yes, you are so cute. You're just so cute. As of the last time I had checked, Echo had not had any more babies. So so the last update was that Echo had not had any more babies. So I don't know. I just texted for an update. Echo is the one that looks like my pantsaroo, but like just super cute. Black and white tuxedo. So I hope that she is okay. It is definitely stressful for them to be in captivity. But even with the stress, at least the babies are safe. Whereas there certainly are risks to them in the wild. it's really hard with the feral ones because we can't interfere at all. So if they run into trouble, we have basically all we can do is provide them a safe place to have their babies, and we can support them with food and water and a clean environment. But we can't do much more than that. So Kayla and Jane did the right thing this morning. After they went in and they saw that she was having babies, and she hadn't been caring for them, so they were still wet and they were very cold, and so that's a situation that goes sideways very quickly if not corrected. So they grabbed them and warmed them up, but of course that's going to be stressful to mom, but it's better than the alternative, which is the kitten's not surviving. So tough calls all around with the TNR stuff for sure. Seven clear stripes on her side equals 7 kittens. Now she's having a little more water. So let's see, what else? I don't think labs have probably not seen the x-ray yet for Eve kittens. I could send it over. How long will the TNR program go? So for a pilot colony, there are so many cats, it's going to keep going for a while. And we are sort of, well, you've seen at tinykittens.com/cats, you see all the cats. So we're cataloging and we're trying to gather as much data as possible and see what the costs are, what the time commitment is that's required, and how much physical space we need. And so we are getting a pretty good idea of all of those things. And we've started certainly with a difficult project. Where are you going? She's leaving us again. Because it's so big and because we have limited access to the property, so it's kind of been an ambitious project, but so it'll go on for a while. The all the kittens that we are able to have born at labs or retrieve from the property will be socialized and adopted after they're spayed and neutered. And as many of the adults as we can have any sort of progress with socializing, we would adopt. But so far, all but one have been completely feral, and really the most compassionate thing to do in that case is to return them. And Kim and I have been, we sit there, we spend a lot of time with them, and so we are starting to develop relationships with some of them, and so that gives us a chance of being able to identify any that have potential for being adopted. But they're pretty happy in their home, and they are, compared to some other colonies, they're pretty safe, and they have access to food because we're feeding them, and there are also lots of rodents that the neighbors are very concerned about, that if we spay and neuter all the cats, the rodents will take over. But we are hoping, I don't know, we're just going to see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with the adults. There are some that definitely are curious about us and follow us around, and I'm trying to clicker train a couple of them to see if that helps. So, okay, kittens on the x-ray. Do you guys really want to know? I'm just reading some comments before I tell you. Well, hello there. Hello, you're so cute. You're so cute. There are some correct guesses in the comments. So, all right, I'll tell you. I was just reading your funny comments. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the photo. Back into full screen. Where are you going, Miss Eve? Checking out the cat tree? Oops. Alright, let's see if you can see this. Look, Miss Eve. I already told her, and now she was very surprised. She felt like that was a lot of stuff going on in there. Okay, so you can sort of see, sort of. Probably not too much, but okay, so let's look. We did all pretty much count the same number. So, but some of it is kind of hard to see, so there's always a margin of error. Okay, so this is a skull here. So sometimes it's easier to count skulls and sometimes it's easier to count spines. So skull, and we had two different angles too, so. Okay, so here's a skull here, so that's 2. There's a skull there, that's 3. There's some legs there, that doesn't count. There's another skull. It's hard to see from this angle. That's better. Now I can see it a little better. So there's a spine going up here, and there's a skull that's hard to see, but in this area. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want to see your babies? So here's skull, spine's going that way. This skull, spine's going that way. Hi, this guy. Spine is like, it looks like it's going this way. And then seems like there might be one here, but it's a little bit muddled. up here in this view. I think the other one is where we saw something there. We think there are 5 though. We think definitely 4, but probably 5. Because it seems like there's something here. But it's hard to see. This looks like a spine, and that looks like legs. It's just hard to see where the skull might be from that one. So that's what we think, 5. So see, we started with 7, and then we had 3, and now we have 5. So there you go. I didn't take a picture of the other one because it was we were going back and forth between them, and I just didn't get a picture of the other one. So, and they're pretty good size. They're not gigantic and they're not tiny, so they're all pretty good size. Nothing looked alarming or abnormal in there, so that's good. And like I said, the you can't see the fingers, little digits on there, so we're not in the last week. We might be at the last week, but we're not in the last week. So probably a week to, I don't know, it's really hard to say, 7 to 9 days, something like that. Hard to say. We'll see how everything progresses. So, but we should get some good belly vision over the next couple of days as the babies start to get more active. So that should be good. It's certainly possible that there are 6 kittens in there. Sometimes we get a surprise kitten or 2. Sometimes I'm trying not to overestimate this time like I did the last time. So we definitely saw 4, and we think 5. We're pretty sure about 5. So we'll see. 5 would be good. I have never had fewer than 5 kittens in a litter, so I think I've had 1. Is it just 1 with 5? Maybe I had 2 with 5. And everyone else has been 6. I have mostly litters of 6. And 1 7. Well, 2 7 if you count the dancing kittens. But so there you go. So, and yes, the birth will be broadcast live, uncensored. So, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. and I do prepare as much as possible, but it is live and uncensored, so just, be aware of that. What else? One of the reasons I broadcast live is for people who want their kids to witness the miracle of birth, so that they have an alternative to letting their own cats have babies to do that. So it is family friendly, as long as you are watching with your kids and kind of explaining what's going on. Yeah, we've got some movement in there. The gas on the x-ray is the kind of black little pockets you can see in her intestines, kind of on the, like as you're looking at it on the right there. Yeah, so if Eve swears during the pregnancy, it will not be censored. They put them on their backs to do the x-ray, so she's kind of face up on her back for the x-ray. Oh, let me see, you're so cute. It's only a few more days, then you never have to do it again. So and she did talk to me a little bit on the car ride. She has the cutest little, very quiet, very ladylike meow. It was very adorable. You probably will get to hear it once the babies are born, because the moms always become chatty with their babies, which is really adorable. So I'm not expecting her to go into labor anytime in the next, couple of days. But it should happen, I don't know, I'm going to say like a week or so. I'm going to say a week or so. Whatever that means to you. Right, Miss Eve? And if anyone would like to win naming rights for one of the babies, you can go to facebook.com/tinykittens, and the post there has all the instructions what to do. I think that's about it. I will keep you posted if I get any more information about Echo or any of the babies at Laps. I think Saratoga has a few more days. I'm surprised Doe hasn't had her babies yet, so I'm expecting to hear about babies from Doe any day now. So those are the two that are still pregnant, that are in our care at the moment. At the colony, there are two that are about 4 weeks pregnant-ish, Quark and Sloan, and so we are letting them, we're not going to be trapping them until they're closer to their due dates, and then we will trap them and try to foster them. So we have a couple of weeks to try to clicker train them. They're both pretty curious about us. One is more skittish than the other one. I think it would be nice if we could trap them and keep them both together. I haven't noticed that they're super bonded, but they do interact with each other, so I'm curious if that would help their stress levels go down. It's just kind of a risky proposition because once you release them together, if they go after each other, how are you going to get them apart and back into traps? It's really difficult. So we'd have to be pretty confident about that before we actually let them go together. What else? So Echo's babies, we're gonna try to reintroduce the babies to her when she's done having the babies. So if she has paused her labor, it's a lot of unknowns right now, but we are hoping that she will be able to accept them. If not, we have bottle feeding foster homes, and we are considering using other moms as surrogates potentially, although having 6 kittens each is a lot, and so if they had like one nipple that wasn't producing milk or something like that, it would be you know, it might not be ideal. So I don't know. We're definitely considering all the options, keeping the options open at this point, but ideally we would like to get them back with Echo and hope that she can be, you know, we can keep things quiet enough that she'll calm down a little bit. But it will depend on if she is able to continue her labor and you know, how her stress level is. So I don't know. This is like we're in a constant state of anxiety and evaluating and making decisions and gathering more information and going back and forth about what to do. There's some pretty good movement going on right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So I'm gonna go and let Miss Eve get some rest. So I will put this back so that you have a little bit of a better view when she moves. She hasn't been going to the window as much, so you get more of a floor view. This so that there's a nest view in there too. Nest view and Eve. There, that's cute. Now she's gonna get up as soon as I leave, of course. Okay. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. You too, little Miss Eve.